Alright, Nick, we're back. Hello, YouTube. We're here for another deck profile. It is still like 2 in the morning.
Yeah, still 2 in the morning, because you can't get here at a regular time.
So this is deck profile part 2. My regionals empty jar deck.
Which did pretty well at regionals, too, considering it's empty jar.
Yeah, so gold, rare morphing jar, first card of the deck.
Because it's beautiful.
The effect, you flip it face down and face up. Each player discards their hand and draws 5. Second card, Necroface. When it gets removed from play from the deck or hand or graveyard, you banish the top 5 cards of your deck, both players. 3 Swift Scarecrow, just in case you don't start off good. They're a battle fader, except you don't have to special summon them. Discard from your hand, negate the attack, and end the battle phase. 2 Needleworms, just in case you don't have Morphing Jar right away, or you have a shallow grave to bring them back. 1 Sangan, search Morphing Jar, Needleworm, whatever. 2 Giant Rats, also searching Morphing Jar.
Because the whole point of the deck is to continuously flip up and down that morphing jar.
Yeah.
So you need the morphing jar out on the field as fast as you can. So you need all this stuff to look for it.
Yeah, the Giant Rat combo at regionals, Giant Rat with Book of Eclipse, really worked. Set Giant Rat and Book of Eclipse, and then when you special summon the morphing jar, just Book of Eclipse right away. So then they can't attack anymore. And they draw a 3 at the end of the turn, and you can flip it up at the end of the turn. So 3 AD changers.
You want to use that when they're face down, not when they're face up.
Yeah, because it just changes the battle position. It doesn't flip them unless it's face down.
Which you've made that mistake before, and then we laugh at you.
Yeah. These are from the graveyard. You banish them from the graveyard to change the battle position of one monster on the field. Also good if you're being attacked. Oh, I'll throw this in. This is the only proxy I have in the deck so far. This is going to be a burial from a different dimension for bringing back the AD changers. 3 Book of Tayo, flipping Morphing Jar face up, or Needleworm, whatever you're using at the time. 1 Book of Moon, because Konami had to go and limit it to 1.
Because it's so good. Because not only that, but that thing can like flip down like any
Xyz monster,
and it's gonna just like somebody tries to use the effect, and you're like, oh, Book of Moon, and then it's face down. They can't use the effect now.
Yet they still haven't caught on to the 3 Book of Eclipse.
Because not many people really use it.
It's the same as Book of Moon, except it covers the entire field instead of just one monster.
Right. So it's like a drawback, but not in a Morphing Jar empty deck. So.
It works well in Gravekeeper decks too, for flipping your spies up and down, and the guards too. Alright, we got 1 Gold Sarcophagus, search out Morphing Jar, or banish Necroface.
Because then Necroface, when it's banished, you get the top 5 cards of both decks get banished.
So it's a Morphing Jar and a Macrocosmos in 1. We got 1 Swords Revealing Light for stall. 2 Magical Mallet for replenishing your hand. Thought I had another one, but I don't know where I put it. 1 Pot of Avarice. Take any 5 monsters in your graveyard, add them back to your deck, shuffle, and draw 2.
Because if you have like 40 cards in your deck and your opponent has 40 cards in your deck, it's when you're using Morphing Jar, you're going to end up still at the same amount of cards. So you don't want to run out before the opponent. Yeah, so Pot of Avarice is going to put a total of 3 cards back in the deck because it puts in 5 and then you draw 2.
Yeah, believe it or not, I have decked out a 60-card deck with this deck.
And how many is this?
42.
42.
I still don't know how I did it, but I did it. No, 43, because I added that other card in. 1 Dark World Dealings, draw power. Each player draws and discards 1. So it's +1 for your opponent too. Card Destruction. use it when you have no cards in your hand, but your opponent has 5 from Morphing Jar.
Which is definitely how you got that 60 card deck down.
Yeah. Yeah, with the magical stone and all that. One hand destruction, drop 2, draw 2, draw power. Makes your opponent run out 2. 1 into the void, draw power. Be careful with this.
Because you only draw 1 card with that.
If you end your turn, you have to discard your entire hand.
Yeah, and that's a bitch.
That's why I took this out of Exodia.
Yeah, that's terrible for Exodia, unless you can like pull a Necros, but
nobody
really uses. Yeah, nobody really uses Necros. He's not all that great. And then I even traded my Necros the other day. That's how I got that Brionic.
2 potted dualities. Quick draw power. Be careful because you can't use Shallow Grave to special summon Needleworm after that. 2 magical stones to get back any of the books. Book of Tayo, card destruction.
Because those are important, and then they run out. You need to use them multiple times more than what you're allowed to fit into a deck.
Heavy Storm.
Because it's Heavy Storm.
I don't know why this is what the deck profile called for. Just getting rid of your opponent's back row, I guess, in case they have something to stop your spells. 3 upstarts. Yet again, quick draw. Get in the Morphing Jar. 1 day of peace to keep your combos going. After your Morphing Jar, you don't have anything in your hand. You just keep going, and then you can't take damage the next turn.
So it's good for stalling too if you really have to.
And then 3 of Feather the Phoenix. Drop 1 card in your hand and then take any card in your graveyard back to your deck. Really good with upstarts and potted dualities, because then you can draw it right away.
Yep, just like reuse everything. Especially with like the Book of Eclipses and everything too, then you can reuse those again.
Oh yeah, the Book of Eclipse. One more thing on those. The Book of Eclipse. When you used any monster flipped down on your opponent's side of the field at the end of the phase of the turn, gets flipped back up, and they draw 1 card for each monster flipped up by that effect.
So it's even thinning their deck more just with the Book of Eclipse by itself, not even the Morphing Jar you're flipping with it.
Like if I were to use this against your Heretic deck, you had 5 monsters on the field, you would have drove 5 cards.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have been a Morphing Jar right there.
Yeah, that would have worked well. Yeah, we just had a duel actually like 10 minutes ago, and I decimated him with my Heretics. But the thing is, we played out what would have happened if he got his next turn, and he would have beat me. He would have empty jarred my entire deck in his next turn. But it's lucky I had like the 3 Gaia Dragons on the field, or else I would have been screwed.
How much time do we have, Nick?
I don't know, a couple minutes.
Just to show off a few little cool cards in my collection here.
Just because you can.
Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon.
Ghost Rare.
Majestic Red Dragon.
Ghost Rare.
Shooting Star Dragon.
Ghost Rare.
Ancient Fairy Dragon.
Oh wow, Ghost Rare.
Black Wing Dragon. I have 2 of those now.
You do?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I bought 1 at Kerwin's.
Oh, there was one. Oh.
So now this one's gonna go in the Light Sworn deck though. These 2 are gonna go.
So
not
you really didn't need the one for my cousin then.
They're both gonna go in the deck though.
Oh yeah.
And then
it's a good card.
my number 17 Leviathan Dragon.
That's a good card too.
Not sure though. I'm thinking about the Galaxy Eyes going in that deck too.
Everybody always uses that Leviathan Dragon with Tour Guide and everything.
Yeah, Tour Guide, Tour Bus, and then the overlay.
That's something I'm going to have to talk about. I'm going to have a rant about how much I hate Tour Guide too.
The 1 card I haven't gotten in Ghost Rare yet. Can't find it.
We also need like Honest and all those oldest Ghost Rares too.
Yeah,
but,
Honest and...
But yeah, he collects Ghost Rares. I find every Ghost Rare I can and just give them to him. We're at the point now where we don't even trade anymore. We just give each other the cards we want. It's like, hey, I want that. Okay, well, here you go. All right,
yeah.
I
told him I needed cards for Light Sworns. Ojama,
Yeah.
and
And I
freaking
just
Samurai.
handed
And
them
he just
to
gave
you.
me this pile today.
Alright, see you later,